Hello and welcome to this edition of the Red Devil Postgame. I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Lathem. In this episode, we will focus on Germantown's recent win over the Collierville Dragons, and Germantown head coach Jason James will join us on set to talk about what went right. We have an exclusive interview with current Golden State Warriors guard and former Red Devil Ian Clark, whose GHS jersey was retired in a special ceremony. Finally, reporter Nia Foster brings us the latest on our hometown Grizzlies and Tigers, so be sure to stay tuned.
But first, after a surprise visit from one of the greatest basketball teams in the world, the Red Devils played a hard game against the Collierville Dragons. The game was tight until the final buzzer, eventually going into overtime. But Germantown managed to pull through to claim the win. Let's find out how they did it in this week's game highlights. When the game started, Germantown's offense came out hot, with center DeMarcus Mitchell scoring 7 of the Red Devils' 13 first-quarter points. Collierville responded with 11 points, showing the Red Devils that they came to compete. Germantown then responds with authority, going on a 6-0 run, including 2 dunks, one by Mark Johnson and another by DeMarcus Mitchell. This led to the Red Devils leading at halftime with a score of 25-17. After the break, both teams didn't come out the gate strong. Germantown got an extra 4 points, all by DeMarcus Mitchell, and Collierville began to come back, with the third quarter ending with a score of 29-25, Red Devils in the lead. The fourth quarter brought excitement back to the game. With Collierville quickly coming back and eventually taking the lead, it was unsure if the Red Devils would win. That is until CJ Northfleet hit an and one and made the free throw with it to tie the game, to take it to overtime with a score of 37-37. In overtime, both teams were going back and forth, with neither one getting an edge for a while. Then Kalmar Davis hit a clutch 3 to put Germantown in a comfortable lead with little time left. Ashton Taylor then hits 2 free throws, and Germantown wins 50-45. Joining us now on the set is Germantown head basketball coach Jason James.
Coach James, thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
We appreciate you having me.
So starting off even before the game, what was your mindset and approach on taking on Collierville?
Well, we knew they were a good team. They've got good guards, and we knew that we would have to be on it defensively to win the game. And so we just kind of wanted to focus on our principles and focus on the preparation that led us to that day and try to focus on the task at hand. It got very hectic. There's a lot of different things going on, and so we wanted to make sure we were on point, and I think we were.
Well, Coach, in the first quarter, the big man DeMarcus Mitchell really came out hot. How did his energy affect the energy of the rest of the team?
Well, we try to play basketball from the inside out, and DeMarcus plays inside. So when he can get going early, it kind of gives confidence to the rest of the guys, and it enables them to get going. And so by him starting hot, being able to make some shots and get some rebounds and putbacks, it kind of helped the other guards loosen up, and they were able to play a little more free.
Now, Collierville did begin to inch back into the game close to the half. What was said to the team during halftime to make sure Collierville didn't take the game back?
We just wanted to focus on us and trying to do our job. You know, there's a certain way, or there's certain things that we want to try to do every game, and at halftime we just wanted to reinforce those and encourage the guys to be who we are and play how we play. I mean, obviously with Collierville being good and having guards, they're going to be able to get back in the game, but if we stayed on us and did what we were supposed to do, we knew we'd be all right.
Well, offensively, the third quarter is rather lackluster for both teams. However, the defense was on point. So what was the team's approach to Collierville's offense going into the second half?
Well, I think offensively you can settle in and score, but you can settle in defensively too. And I think both teams kind of started to do that. We kind of figured out where they were trying to score from, and I thought our guys did a good job of executing the game plan that we came out in the second half with, trying to contain the ball, limiting them to one shot. And when we could execute defensively, again, it gave us confidence to go down on offense and try to score baskets.
Now, in the fourth quarter, Collierville did end up tying and eventually taking the lead. But big plays from Kalmar Davis and CJ Northfleet kept Germantown in the game. So what was your reaction to those players making such spectacular plays?
It was good. We try to focus every day on just keep playing. You know, don't really focus on the score. There's a process to what we're trying to do, and try to play against the game every day, try to play the right way. And so even when we got behind in the game, we just kind of wanted to keep playing and keep trying to do the right thing. And those guys were able to do that, made some big plays, and we were able to get over the hump.
Well, as we mentioned, there was a tie going into the end of regulation, but Mark Johnson really tried his hardest launching that full court shot. It looked like it was going to end in Germantown's favor. What was the reaction of the people on the sidelines when it looked like that shot was going to go in?
I mean, it was right on line. It was a little long, but it's so far back, it's really hard to tell. As it got closer and closer, we all kind of thought, man, that's going to go in. So when it didn't, we were all right, but it was exciting for a few seconds. We kind of held our breath and thought he made a miracle shot.
Now let's talk about overtime. There were some huge plays made on both sides of the team, but what did you say to the players during those timeouts to keep their head in the game?
Again, just keep playing, keep trying to execute. We try to focus on our energy, our execution every single day, and again, in overtime, it's no different. The time, score, that stuff shouldn't matter. And we just want to focus on executing on both ends, and focus on rebounding the ball, and again, trying to do what we do.
Well, Kamar Davis, towards the end of overtime, put Germantown in the lead with a big three, and Ashton Taylor hit 2 big free throws. So at what point did you finally calm down and think that Germantown had this one in the bag?
When the buzzer sounded and it was over, we really didn't know, especially, again, the way Collierville could shoot it, and as good as their guards were getting to the rim, and we didn't know until it was over. And so our deal is just keep playing. Kamar made a big three. I was happy to see Ashton step to the line and be able to shoot the free throws with confidence, which is something we work on them with, and we were able to finish the game.
So we're kicking off the new year at Southwind on January 6th. How are you planning on taking such a high caliber team?
Man, I don't know. I'll be honest. They're really, really good. They've got 2 really good players, and we play some games before then. But that week, we'll really focus on trying to contain those 2 guys. They got a guard who kind of makes everything happen for them, and we'll focus our stuff around those guys and trying to contain them, make everything as hard as possible for them.
Well, before that game against Southwind, over the break, the team is traveling to Troy. Can you tell us more about that game?
Yeah, we play in Dyersburg on Monday and Tuesday, and then we go to Centralia, Illinois. Centralia is the oldest consecutive Christmas tournament in the country. 75 years it's been happening, and last year we were fortunate enough to win it. And so we'll go back, try to defend our title. It's a great tournament basketball-wise, but it's also a great time for our guys. They'll get a chance to bond and get a chance to continue to grow as a team, which is obviously we hope it'll help us down the road.
Well, as the season progresses, how do you think our Red Devils can improve?
In every way. I mean, we're so young. We've only got 1 or 2 players who've played varsity basketball before. So to have so many young guys, just the experience of playing in practice and the attitude of trying to execute and trying to play the right way every day, that's going to be the biggest improvement if we can continue to get better.
Well, going back to the tournaments, are there any more tournaments that Germantown might be competing in as the season progresses?
No, those are the only 2, and then we'll come back and play in the district, and we'll have the district tournament at the end of the year and then the region tournament, and we'll see how we do then, but those are the only 2.
Well, Coach James, thank you so much for being on the show today and talking about this big win for Germantown.
Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you do for us and for the school, and we look forward to seeing you at the games.
Thank you. With the final score as close as it was throughout the whole game, players had to bring their A game to come out on top. Let's see the game through their eyes in this edition of Player Playback.
We watched film coming into the game, but we made some mistakes at the end, led to a loss.
I knew it was going to be a big game, big crowd, everybody excited. Just come in, stay focused.
Come out, play hard, play good defense, get the win at home.
We talked about if we could win, we'd go 2-0 in the district going into the break. And that could have been big for us, but, we had our chances and the ball didn't roll our way there at the end of regulation, and that's just basketball.
Just every time when it comes time like timeouts, free throw, just tell everybody stay focused, stay locked in the game, make sure to take care of the ball.
We just got to get stops, score on offense, run the offense, try to contain them, ball penetration, close out the shooters.
We just wanted to do what we do. There's a certain way we want to play, and we wanted to make sure, despite all the distractions and the number of people that were in the gym, we did that. We played that way and tried to execute at a high level, and that's just kind of our goal.
We got another game Tuesday night, so, we got to forget it and move on. Everybody's got another game coming up, so sure Coach James is going to have to, figure out a way to get his guys ready for Tuesday as well. So, we got a lot of season ahead of us.
We have to take a short break. When we come back, our exclusive interview with Golden State Warriors guard and former Red Devil Ian Clark. You don't want to miss it.
Daddy, we don't say words like that. Just let your love flow like a mountain. Good examples. Pass them on. With the smallest of dreams and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean.
You fill up my senses like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to this edition of Red Devil Postgame. I'm Maggie Lathem. The game against Collierville was packed as Red Devil fans got to witness a great win for Germantown. However, there was one very special guest in the bleachers that had everyone talking. GHS-TV reporter Deborah Noel and I show you who.
One of Germantown's best basketball players came home recently for a special honor. GHS retired the jersey of Golden State Warriors guard Ian Clark. Clark made a name for himself on the court, playing for the Red Devils during all 4 years of high school from 2005 to 2009.
A lot of guys really didn't see coming to Germantown as a basketball school, but I wanted to come here. And me and a lot of other guys, good players that played with me, made an impact to try to turn the program around.
Clark is the first Red Devil to make it to the NBA. Having previously played for the Utah Jazz and Denver Nuggets, Clark has found his home with the Warriors.
On and off the court, we support each other. We play well together. We laugh. We have fun. We hold each other accountable, and I think that's the difference.
I mean, I know Ian's a terrific player, and he has tremendous abilities, but to make it to the NBA like he did is really special.
I mean, it's a pretty good feeling to know that somebody like that comes out of Germantown and that I go here.
Clark brought along his teammates for the occasion. Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant were just some of the players on hand to congratulate Clark. For Red Devil player DeMarcus Mitchell, their presence, along with Clark's, boosted his confidence on the court.
I felt that I would make a statement, like I could be one of them one day. 'Cause I played hard. Every rebound I chased down. Anytime I had the opportunity to score, I scored it. Make sure my team's doing good.
During his final 3 seasons at Germantown, Clark led the team in scoring and was a 3-time All-Metro champion selected by the Commercial Appeal. Clark says watching the teams play brought back memories of being a Red Devil.
To have the support from the high school, from everybody that was here when I was here, it means a lot. I hope they win tonight.
And when they did, the Red Devils played their hardest that night, knowing they had Clark there to cheer them on.
He kind of said something to him before the game about playing the right way, and I think that was kind of on their mind when they did take the floor, that they wanted to continue to play the right way to show them that they knew how to do that.
Moral of the story, hard work always pays off.
Even us people in the crowd like that, being able to stay focused no matter what's going on, because when you get the bigger levels, it's going to be more intensity level, more people in the crowd.
Chase your dreams, because he is the dream, and he fulfilled everything that he wanted to do in his profession, and he's at the top of his game.
Reporting for Red Devil Postgame, I'm Deborah Noel.
Thanks, Deborah. Before the game, I had the chance to sit down and have a great conversation with Ian Clark. Take a look. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for being here, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So our first question would be, what does it mean to you to be back here and see your jersey number retired?
It means a lot. It's been a long time coming. To have the support from the high school, from everybody that was here when I was here, it means a lot that, the kind of impact that I've made on the high school. And not to say that I don't take anything for granted. I'm humbled by the experience, and I'm really happy that it's happening.
So I know you enjoyed playing high school basketball. So during your time here, how did you get involved with our basketball program here at Germantown?
It was kind of, I knew I wanted to play basketball here. You know, I remember seeing Coach Crump when I was in middle school actually come over and talk to us right before we head off to go to high school when I was in 8th grade. And you know, a lot of guys really didn't see coming to Germantown as a basketball school, but I wanted to come here. And me and a lot of other guys, good players that played with me, you know, Austin Hollins, Jeff, all those guys made an impact to try to turn the program around. I think we did that.
So of course you're playing in the NBA, so you're playing at a very high level of basketball. So before high school, how did you develop a love for the game?
I just loved playing it. I was always outside playing with my friends. Of course, played in middle school, and when I started playing in middle school, it got kind of competitive. I started playing AAU ball in the summer and tried to work on my game to become a good high school player.
So in your last 3 years here at Germantown, you were the leader in scoring. What helped you become such a smooth scorer?
I guess it was just something that they would say, quote unquote, you're born with. You know, I love to shoot. I was a pretty good shooter, but I wanted to add other things to my game, of course. And in high school, you know, being able to help your team win, you got to score the ball. So it is something that I made sure I tried to do well.
So after you graduated here from Germantown, you chose to go to Belmont University. What made you choose Belmont?
It was close to home. I love the coaching staff. The academics was great. To be able to have that on my resume, graduating from Belmont University. And also they had made it to the NCAA tournament. And it's a dream come true to be able to play in that, watching that as a kid. And I got a chance to do that, you know, three years straight.
So what's the difference to you in playing high school basketball compared to college basketball?
High school and college are a lot different. The pace is a lot faster. Guys are, as the older you get, guys get bigger, get stronger, get faster. So it's an adjustment period coming in as a freshman in college to make sure that you meet those standards so you can compete.
So of course I'm assuming that the transition from college basketball to the NBA is quite similar. So how did you make that transition?
A lot of work in the summertime. After I graduated high school, I spent college, I'm sorry. I spent the whole summer preparing for the NBA. And you know, watching guys like some of my teammates actually before they were my teammates, trying to study their game and see how I could improve myself to make sure that I was effective on this level.
So unfortunately, you went undrafted, but you ended up being signed by the Utah Jazz. So how did you overcome this blow to the ego of sort?
It wasn't really a blow to me. I never really had a thought in my mind that I would get drafted. I knew that I had to go and improve myself, and I've had that chip on my shoulder my whole career, still to this day. Being able to not necessarily want to prove people wrong, but to show people that I was capable of playing on this level.
So what do you look for in a team?
What we have with Golden State. I mean, it says a lot to some of those guys, especially the high caliber guys that they are, to come out and want to support me tonight. On and off the court, we support each other. We play well together. We laugh. We have fun. We hold each other accountable, and I think that's the difference.
Well, speaking of the Warriors, last year you joined the Golden State Warriors in 2015 after a championship season. How was it like coming into a scene like that?
It was tough being a new guy. Everybody coming off of a championship, so they're on the high, and being able to try to come in and try to, you know, make your mark and see how you fit with the team was definitely an adjustment period that I had to go through. It took me about halfway through the season, and then by, you know, February and March, and then on to the playoffs, I feel like I had made my mark on the team of what I could bring and how I could help.
Well, being a former Red Devil that's now in the NBA, what advice do you have for Germantown players now?
To keep working. It's not the end when you're in high school, whatever you want to do. And, you know, for me, it was just having fun, but also make sure I'm getting my schoolwork done and going out and giving it your all, whatever that is.
So after your jersey number gets retired, I'm assuming you're going to stay to watch the Germantown High School
Definitely.
Play the game.
Definitely.
So do you believe that watching them play today will bring back good memories about being a Red Devil?
Oh, for sure. I can't remember the last time I've been to a high school game, let alone in the high school gym. So it's definitely going to bring back memories, and I hope they win tonight.
Well, thank you for joining us, Mr. Clark, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you.
It's time for another break. When we return, reporter Nia Foster brings us the latest news on the Grizzlies and Tigers, and Kennedy and I will analyze this week's power rankings, so please stay with us.
Welcome to Germantown High School, an international baccalaureate creative and performing arts optional school, a destination school for students who are going places.
Our students are of the highest caliber when it comes to their academics and knowledge.
The IB program is a very rigorous program.
You were challenged in a way that you thought you couldn't be challenged. You succeeded, something that other kids may not have thought they could do.
They're accepted to colleges that are just, dream colleges for so many people.
Germantown High School offers a CAPA program, the Creative and Performing Arts program.
When I first came here, I saw the television studio and I was just amazed at what all I saw.
Kids do everything, that they're taught every detail that has to do with theater arts and creative arts.
I love a lot of things about Germantown High School, but primarily what I love is the athletics. There's something exciting around every single corner.
We probably are one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Tennessee, maybe the United States.
I would never doubt about sending your child to Germantown High School.
This high school is something not like any other high school that we have.
There's definitely fun in the work. We find fun in everything we do.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to this edition of Red Devil Postgame. I'm Maggie Lathem.
And I'm Kennedy Harris.
Kennedy, we've talked a lot about Warriors guard Ian Clark, but what I would like to talk about is their stunning loss against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Maggie, it was definitely a shocker as the Warriors were a heavy favorite to win this game. But we have to give props to our hometown Grizzlies. They just played against one of the best teams in the NBA and left nothing on the court.
I would have to agree. No one saw this coming as the Warriors have one of the best records in the NBA. But our Grizzlies showed their strength and ability to take on great teams. For a more in-depth look at the game, as well as an update on our Memphis Tigers, let's send things over to reporter Nia Foster. Nia?
The Memphis Grizzlies went at it heavy on Saturday against one of the top skillful teams in the league, the Golden State Warriors. It was an all-around team effort for the Grizzlies, with many guys on the team finishing with double-digit points, defending the past MVPs Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Andre Iguodala to one of their lowest scoring games of the season. Final score was 89-110. Also on Saturday, your Memphis Tigers defeated the UAB Blazers in an always heated matchup by a score of 62-55, boosting their team confidence for the following game on Tuesday versus the Monmouth Hawks, where they fell short by a margin of 82-79. That leaves Memphis with a record of 7-3. The Tigers' next game is versus the Oklahoma Sooners Saturday morning at 11:30. And finally, to recap your Grizzlies' previous game on Tuesday, they faced the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by 4-time and lost by a pretty enormous gap. The final score was 103-86.
Thanks, Nia. Now let's take a look at where the teams stand in this week's district rankings. Kicking off the rankings, at number 1 we have Ridgeway. They're currently 6-0 after a 57-37 blowout win over Wooddale. Their next game is against a broken-down Bolton team. 7-2 Southwind is number 2 this week after their win over Houston. Southwind is expected to jump in the rankings soon. Their next game is against Collierville. Tuesday's win over our Germantown Red Devils puts Kirby at number 3 with a 6-3 record. Their next game is against a tough Cordova squad. And our own 6-4 Red Devils are ranked number 4 after that tough loss to Kirby. Our next game against Southwind kicks off the new year. So Maggie, out of those top 4 teams that I just mentioned, which one do you think will have the upper hand come playoff time?
Kennedy, Ridgeway is on a roll, just winning game after game, and no one seems to be able to take them off of their top spot. But I do have some hope for our Red Devils. They've had a pretty good season so far, and hopefully they can only improve and climb in the rankings.
Maggie, I totally agree.
Getting back to the rankings, at number 5 is Houston, who is currently 6-5. They played Southwind and received a very tough blow from the Jags. They will kick off the new year at Ridgeway. Number 6, Collierville is 4-4 after their loss to Germantown. However, they are a tough team, so it won't be surprising if they improve their next game. and they are playing Southwind. And finishing off the list, we have 0-3 Wooddale. Their next game is against Houston. Kennedy, out of the last 3 teams I just mentioned, who do you think will improve the most as the season goes on?
Well, Maggie, after seeing Collierville play Germantown and end up going into overtime, you can definitely tell they are a tough team, and they could definitely crack into that top 4 eventually.
You're right. Collierville is such a strong team. I definitely see them improving as the season goes on.
We're going to send things back over to reporter Nia Foster, who has the upcoming schedule for the Red Devils.
Looking ahead at the Red Devils basketball schedule, over Christmas break on December 20th, the Red Devils will travel to Troy, Tennessee and play in the Obion County Classic. Then, kicking off the new year, we have the Germantown Red Devils playing the Southwind Jags at home. The following week will be a game against the Wooddale Cardinals. And finally, the week of January 13th is a big rivalry game between your Germantown Red Devils and the Houston Mustangs. So mark your calendars and prepare to hit the road with your Red Devils. Kennedy and Maggie, back to you.
Thanks, Naya. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Red Devil Postgame. If you would like more information about our program, visit us at GHS-TV.org or find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GHS-TV. From all of us here at GHS-TV, I'm Kennedy Harris.
And I'm Maggie Lathem. We will see you again on the next edition of Red Devil Postgame. Go Red Devils!